Hey there, welcome back to my channel. What if I tell you there is a scientific proven way to emotionally detach from what's going on around you, to free yourself from the roller coaster of others' feelings or behaviors, and to become naturally unbothered? In today's video, you're going to learn one of the most powerful states of mind a person can have, which is emotional detachment. This state doesn't mean you lack emotions or care less about people. Instead, it's about cultivating resilience and independence in your emotional world. Imagine standing grounded no matter what comes your way. That's the power of detachment. Much of what you will learn in this video was inspired by Georgina Rodriguez's unbothered and detached demeanor, because I truly think she is one of the best examples of the queen of unbothered. Georgina has mastered the art of staying grounded amidst fame, public scrutiny, and personal challenges. Some people have criticized her, calling her cold or even mean, but the truth is, she is simply focused and unbothered. Her ability to remain composed and prioritize her own growth and embrace life's unpredictability is a testament to the power of detachment. I am using her as a source of inspiration for this video, and I hope her example can resonate with you too. Now let's start by defining emotional detachment more broadly. At its core, detachment is the ability to step back from the need to control or to be overly affected by external circumstances. Whether it's relationships, work, or life's many challenges, detachment allows you to navigate these situations with clarity and peace. It's about recognizing that while emotions are natural and important, they don't have to dictate your actions or define your sense of self. Detachment is not about apathy, but about balance, finding that sweet spot where you can care without being consumed. This mindset leads to empowerment, to inner peace, and a life where you can thrive regardless of external outcomes. So let's dive into the steps to master this transformative approach to life. Step number 1, recognize that everyone projects their fears. One of the first keys to detachment is understanding that people often project their fears, their insecurities, and unresolved issues onto you. In fact, that's all what people do. Many times, the way people treat you has little to do with you and who you are, and more to do with their internal battles. For example, if someone tries to undermine your confidence or questions your choices, most often it's not about you. They might be struggling with their own insecurities or fears of inadequacy, and they can't stand that someone else doesn't seem to be limited by those same fears. By realizing this very simple fact of life, you stop taking these projections personally and you liberate yourself from the emotional tug-of-war others might impose on you. I invite you to adopt the mantra, "Their storm is not my storm." This mental shift allows you to remain unbothered, realizing that others' judgments don't define your worth. Step number 2, lower expectations of others and elevate your own standards. Detachment comes easy when you adjust your expectations on others. Many times, emotional turmoil stems from expecting too much from others while neglecting your own growth. Because in essence, the cycle of expectations is often a reflection of personal compensation. We place excessive demands on others because we neglect to place sufficient faith in ourselves or prioritize what we can achieve independently. For instance, you might place high expectations on others not to betray your trust because you don't fully trust yourself to handle situations on your own. But when you begin to trust yourself more, you're able to accept that people may not always act as you hope. So if someone betrays your trust or doesn't meet your expectations, it's less shocking because you understand that everyone is navigating their own insecurities. By focusing on what you can control, your own actions and mindset, you're less affected by others' behaviors and more resilient in managing your own emotional responses. If you keep your expectations realistic, you'll find yourself less reactive and more centered when things don't go as planned. And the best way I've found to achieve that is to understand this cycle. Because again, in essence, the cycle of expectations is often a reflection of personal compensation. When we fail to trust ourselves or focus on our own potential, we tend to place excessive demands on others. This reliance on others arises from a lack of belief in our ability to handle things on our own and diverting our attention from what we are capable of achieving independently. Step number 3, embrace strategy over emotion. People who master detachment often rely on strategy as their guiding compass. This means their approach to life is neither random nor improvised, but follows a set of rules and anticipations. They adhere to a well-defined path, one carefully navigated with purpose and foresight. When you approach relationships and life situations strategically, you create an emotional distance between yourself and the outcomes. This mindset compels you to dissociate from immediate events and circumstances. Think of this as playing chess rather than reacting impulsively. For example, if someone's behavior upsets you, instead of confronting them immediately, take a step back and assess the bigger picture. What is the best move that aligns with your long-term goals and values? This mindset helps prevent unnecessary emotional entanglement and keeps you focused on what truly matters. Step number 4, see the bigger picture. Detachment becomes easier when you think in terms of the bigger picture. Life is a mosaic, and any single event, whether a breakup or a rejection or a disappointment, is just one tile in the grand design. Some events may feel overwhelming in the moment, but when you step back and view them in the context of your broader journey, their emotional weight often diminishes. For example, if your goal is to build a fulfilling career, understand that your success isn't dependent on one specific job or a particular promotion or one opportunity. Your future isn't defined by a single moment, but by a series of interconnected steps and choices. By seeing your future as a vast landscape of possibilities where no one particular event is irreplaceable, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and frustration. So instead of clinging to the idea that each moment must lead to an immediate success, recognize that your dreams should feature you as the constant, a resilient, adaptable force, while external circumstances shift and change. When you focus on the broader vision, setbacks, whether large or small, become insignificant. They no longer carry the same weight because you realize that they are temporary and part of a much larger ongoing story of growth and transformation. Step number 5, let go of forced connections. Have you ever found yourself trying to fit into someone else's mold just to gain their approval? This is a form of emotional attachment rooted in fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. But this constant effort to reshape yourself for others leads to self-neglect and a loss of authenticity. On the other hand, detachment allows you to step away from these fears and embrace who you truly are. When you're detached, you no longer feel the need to force conversations or relationships or validation. You understand that the right people, those who genuinely resonate with you, will be drawn to your authentic self. Choosing to be yourself is not just a statement, it's a declaration of self-worth. It's not about trying to fit into someone else's world, but it's about creating your own world. Detachment gives you the freedom to engage only with what feels right. If I like you, I'll engage with you. If I don't, I won't force myself. This approach shifts your focus from seeking external validation to staying true to what matters, which is being yourself. You see, over the years, I've learned that while I still value being treated with respect and maintaining high standards, I no longer expect that kind of treatment from everyone. Instead, I see it as a natural outcome of aligning with people who share my values. When it happens, it's not a coincidence. It is a sign that I am connecting with the right kind of people, those who appreciate and respect authenticity. The truth is, you cannot control other people or most circumstances. The only thing that you can control is your actions, your mindset, and how you choose to respond. By staying true to yourself, you increase the likelihood of meaningful connections and opportunities. But here's a reality check. The person who will genuinely like you for you, with no pretenses or compromises, is rare. Maybe 1 in 100, perhaps fewer, and that's okay. The fewer the people, the more precious the connection. By embracing detachment, you stop trying to force relationships or circumstances to meet your expectations. You begin to understand that some things are simply not in your hands, and that's not only acceptable, it's liberating. The right people, the right moments, and the right opportunities will align with your path naturally. if you let them. Step number 6, disengage from negativity quietly. Another crucial aspect of emotional detachment is learning to disengage from people or situations that drain your energy. This isn't about dramatic exits or confrontations, but rather about recognizing when something no longer serves your well-being. Often, the most powerful move you can make is simply removing yourself quietly without fanfare or conflict. Negativity is something to be expected from others. And as we said before, it is important to understand that much of it stems from their own internal struggles, their fears, their insecurities, and unresolved issues. People often project these emotions onto others, whether consciously or unconsciously, because they are grappling with their own discomfort. For example, if a friend constantly criticizes you or brings negativity into your life, it is not necessarily about you. It is about what they are dealing with internally. So rather than reacting to these projections with defensiveness or confrontation, the best response is often to disengage quietly. Disengaging quietly means gradually stepping away from the situation or relationship without making a scene. It doesn't require announcing your intentions or defending yourself. Instead, it's about redirecting your focus and energy towards healthier, more positive influences. You might begin to reduce the frequency of your interactions, or you stop sharing personal details, or limit your emotional investment. Quiet disengagement means protecting your peace without causing unnecessary drama, allowing you to maintain your emotional integrity while leaving others to work through their own issues on their own terms. It's never about cutting people off abruptly, but it's rather about creating space for your own growth, free from the weight of others' unresolved emotions. Over time, this quiet form of detachment fosters a sense of emotional freedom, allowing you to cultivate healthier, more supportive connections while letting go of those that drain you. Step number 7, focus on self-growth. At its core, detachment is about self-focus, the profound realization that your greatest and most important project in life is you. The more you invest in your own growth, the less you rely on external validation to feel worthy or complete. In this journey, you become both the artist and the masterpiece. You are a continuous work of art, evolving with every experience, improving with each lesson learned, and refining yourself as you pursue your goals. Think of yourself as your own self-project, a personal creation that doesn't require approval from anyone but you. When you make self-development your primary focus, you stop seeking validations from others, whether from a romantic partner or an employer or society at large. Your own work is all the validation you need. Instead, you channel that energy into building a new skill, or cultivating a passion, or enhancing your mental and physical health. These efforts become the foundation of your confidence, which no one can take away from you. Self-concept is the framework through which you see the world, and by strengthening it, you make yourself magnetic to others. People are drawn to those who are focused on self-improvement because there is a quiet strength in individuals who invest in their own evolution. As you evolve, you become more aligned with your true purpose, and this authenticity naturally attracts the right people and opportunities in your life. The most inspiring part of this journey is that you will always be your biggest project. While other goals and achievements may come and go, your relationship with yourself is constant and ever deepening. The more you prioritize your own development, the more you realize that this is the greatest piece of art you'll ever create. Every challenge, every triumph, and every moment of self-reflection will contribute to the masterpiece of who you are becoming. In this light, detachment doesn't mean withdrawing from others. It means releasing the need for validation and stepping into your own worth, unshaken by the opinions of others. The more you pour into yourself, the more you grow, and in turn, the more you'll have to offer the world around you. When you fully embody this mindset, you stop seeking approval because you realize that the most enduring approval comes from within. Step number 8, heal your attachment style. Many of us struggle with attachment issues that are deeply rooted in unmet childhood needs. The need for love, for security, and for consistent emotional support. These early experiences shape the way we approach relationships throughout our lives. If you find yourself feeling anxious or overly dependent or constantly seeking reassurance in relationships, it's often a reflection of these unmet needs from the past. You may crave validation or fear abandonment, which can create emotional turbulence and unhealthy reliance on others for your sense of worth. Recognizing these patterns is the first step towards healing. It's important to approach this healing process with compassion and self-awareness. Therapy, self-reflection, and even mindfulness practices can help you uncover the root of your attachment style and begin to address it. Understanding that your past does not have to define your present relationships is absolutely crucial. Healing your attachment style, however, doesn't happen overnight, but through consistent effort, you can gradually shift from anxious dependence to emotional self-sufficiency. The more you heal and strengthen your internal sense of stability, the easier it becomes to detach from the need for external validation. You begin to create a solid foundation within yourself where your worth is no longer contingent upon the behaviors or approval of others. Instead of seeking reassurance from others or fearing rejection, you start to rely on your own sense of self-worth, which allows you to be more secure and calm in your interactions. Ultimately, healing your attachment style helps you realize that you are your own anchor. You no longer feel adrift or at the mercy of others' actions and words. Instead, you create a sense of inner stability that can withstand the ups and downs of life and relationships. You begin to realize that your peace doesn't come from external sources, but from the deep-rooted understanding that you are whole and you are worthy and capable of navigating life's challenges on your own terms. This inner strength allows you to detach from external outcomes, not because you don't care, but because you have learned to trust in your own ability to remain steady no matter what happens around you. Step 9. Cultivate a grand vision. Finally, detachment thrives when you have a grand vision for your life, something that transcends the limitations of individual people or fleeting circumstances. A powerful vision is like a compass that guides you through life, providing clarity and purpose no matter what challenges or distractions come your way. When you have a clear, compelling vision, you become less attached to the small dramas or the conflicts or the setbacks that inevitably arise in day-to-day life. Instead, you remain focused on the bigger picture, allowing life's temporary obstacles to fade into the background. This vision should be about your overarching goals, passions, and dreams rather than being narrowly tied to any one person or one relationship or specific situation. It's about recognizing that your life's journey is yours to shape and that external circumstances should never have the power to define or limit the possibilities that lie ahead. For example, if your dream is to travel the world, imagine the places that you want to explore, the cultures that you want to immerse yourself in, and the personal growth you want to experience. See these dreams as a vivid collection of experiences, not necessarily tied to any specific person or scenario. Keep the people in these dreams faceless, allowing your vision to expand beyond the confines of any individual relationship or moment. By focusing on this grand vision, you give yourself the flexibility and the freedom to flow with life. You release the need to hold on to one particular outcome or to depend on any single person to fulfill your dreams. The more you do this, the more open you become to different possibilities and paths that may lead to your goals. This approach also ensures that your future is not limited by the constraint of a single person or a particular scenario or relationship. You open yourself up to a world of potential, where your dreams can evolve and grow without being bound by the expectations of others. In this way, detachment becomes an empowering practice. It doesn't mean withdrawing from people or experiences. It simply means not being so tightly bound to them that they become obstacles to your greater aspirations. With a grand vision, you create a life that's flexible and expansive, one that allows you to keep moving forward regardless of the circumstances, and one where your happiness and fulfillment come from you pursuing your own authentic path, not from the validation or presence of others. Detachment in this context isn't about avoiding connections or responsibilities. It's about giving yourself the freedom to pursue your grand vision without feeling emotionally shackled by the temporary events or people that cross your path. To wrap up, detachment is about reclaiming your emotional independence. Imagine yourself as the sky, vast and unchanging. The storms of life, whether they are conflict or disappointments or successes, are just passing weather. They don't define you. Thanks for watching.